As you are embarking onto your S3 journey, you will also be introduced to new things that you have not worked with before. Software, procedures, and all sorts of things. It is important that you understand the underlying theory behind some of these things that you use. One of the new things you encounter now is the use of secondary surveillance radar. This is something you have not yet been introduced to at this stage, the way the transponder and its different codes work. All you know at this point is the ground radar you've been using, as well as just assigning squad codes, but without any more deeper meaning. So now I want to take a few moments to explain you what the purpose is and how it all works. On the secondary surveillance radar, you have your screen with airplane targets. This is VATSIM, so obviously everything that goes on here is a simulation, because the scope knows where everybody is at all times. So the question is, how does the scope simulate it? If you go into the general settings in your gyroscope menu, you will find that you can choose a correlation mode. It says Easy, Mode Charlie, and Mode Sierra. What do they actually mean? It all comes down to the transponder, the equipment in all modern airplanes that allow the airplane to set a squawk code and to be identified. It stands for Transmitter and Responder, and you have a similar device from your ATC side. An interrogation signal is sent from your ATC tower to the transponder on the airplane, which returns your interrogation signal with a response of information to your screen. The way this works and what information is present depends on the mode of transponder the airplane has, and there are 3 different transponders currently in existence: Mode Alpha, Mode Charlie, and Mode Sierra. To begin with, the transponder must be turned on for it to work. If not, you will just get a primary radar target. So if you see a target just like this, it's because the transponder is off. When it's turned on, the signal will reach the airplane and it will send some sort of information back to you. It sends the position, the heading, and the speed, as well as a 4-digit squawk code. That's what you will see in Mode Alpha transponder. Your signal is sent to the airplane and this information is returned. If an airplane is equipped with a Mode Charlie transponder, it means that it will also broadcast the altitude, so we get that extra information. Note that a Mode Charlie transponder is mandatory in all controlled airspace, and that is what this thing means in the airspace class table. A plus C means transponder with both Mode Alpha and Charlie indications are required, because in controlled airspace you need to be able to see the altitude. However, this is still a so-called unidentified target. In order to identify an airplane on your secondary surveillance radar, there must be a correlation between your system and the airplane. You see, the transponder doesn't deliver a lot of key information that we would need on attack on our scope. That comes from your end, from the flight plan information that you have in your system. This is such, for example, as the destination of the airplane, the routing, the aircraft type, and all that kind of stuff. Therefore, the key is to correlate the information from the aircraft transponder with the information from the flight plan in your system. This is being done via the infamous squawk code. It's a code you are assigned in the flight plan, and then transmit that code to the aircraft you wish to correlate. And you ask the pilot to select on his transponder panel the same code. This means that when you interrogate the airplane's transponder, it is a match, and therefore it will supply the tag with all the information you had in your flight plan database. And like that, you have an identified and correlated target. If the transponder code doesn't match, all you will get is an unidentified target sending you the key information, but on all the correlated information from the flight plan. However, on your gyroscope, you actually will see all that information. Why? Because we use Mode Sierra. It's a newer transponder type that most airplanes nowadays use, and it makes life just a little easier. Apart from being able to transmit a whole lot of additional information, it is a transponder that doesn't anymore correlate via a squawk code. Instead, it correlates via an ATC ID. If you've ever flown a Boeing or an Airbus, you will remember that you can actually put in your call sign in your FMC or your MACD. This is not just for you to have something to remember when you call ATC. This is actually for the Mode Sierra transponder. Instead of correlating a squawk, that call sign is sent from the airplane and correlated to the ATC call sign from the flight plan database alongside with other information, and the system will then make a match. This is why, regardless of correct squawk or not, you will still see an identified target when you have mode 0 correlation. If a flight plan matches with the call sign, then it will correlate them. So, do you still need to assign a squawk to these kind of airplanes? Well, yes, because other frequencies may not have mode 0 surveillance, so you will need a mode Charlie target to be correlated as well. This is with the exception if you're in airspaces where there is complete mode 0 coverage, in which case you will ask the airplane to squawk 1000. Alongside mode 0, you also have the excitement of ADS-B, Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast, sending data directly from the airplane computer broadcasted to you, but at the time of this video this is not yet implemented on VATSIM, maybe sometime in the future. For now, this is all you need to know about the secondary surveillance radar. So now you're informed, now you know how to correlate your flight. Thanks for watching this video, you may now continue with your course.